Does Spain have any relations with oil-rich Kazakhstan? A few months ago, a number of media outlets reported that Mariano Rajoy, the Prime Minister of Spain, signed a $6 billion contract with dictator Nazarbayev to construct a railway infrastructure in Kazakhstan. It's not a secret that Kazakhstan is an example of a classic dictatorship. All major enterprises in the country are owned by Nazarbayev or by his family members. All opposition political parties and media outlets are banned. Politicians who dare to challenge this regime are either in prison, where they're subjected to ill treatment and torture, or in exile. In the light of Spain's increasing economic ties with Kazakhstan, a very delicate political matter arises that directly affects the political interests of Kazakhstan's dictator, Nazarbayev. It's likely that in exchange for the generous contract, Kazakh dictator Nazarbayev asked the Spanish authorities to hand over a political refugee, Aleksandr Pavlov. Previously, Pavlov used to be a bodyguard of Mukhtar Ablyazov, one of the main opponents of Nazarbayev. The dictator regards Ablyazov as a personal enemy, and his capture is a matter of national importance. Pavlov himself was not active in politics, and his sole responsibility was to provide security to the opposition leader. If Pavlov is handed over to Kazakhstan, he'll be tortured, and Nazarbayev would get fabricated testimonies against Ablyazov and his associates. When persecution of all close associates of Mukhtar Ablyazov started in 2009, Aleksandr Pavlov went into hiding in Spain, where he requested political asylum. In order to find Pavlov, the Kazakh authorities requested Interpol to issue a global arrest warrant. He was wanted allegedly on large-scale embezzlement charges. Spanish police arrested Pavlov in Madrid in 2011. After several hearings, a Madrid court refused to extradite Pavlov, and he was released from detention as it became clear that charges brought against him were false. The Kazakh authorities did not give up and amended the Interpol notice to mention allegations on terrorism. Pavlov was arrested in Spain for a second time in 2012, and since then he has been in custody. The case of Pavlov went through all court instances, and finally, on November 8, 2013, the Supreme Court of Spain reached the final decision to extradite Aleksandr Pavlov. This is despite international law that obliges Spain not to give away refugees to countries where they could be tortured or mistreated. Dictator Nazarbayev needs extradition of Pavlov to level opposition with terrorists and to discredit Ablyazov in the public's eyes. There's no doubt when Pavlov falls into the hands of the Kazakh judiciary, he'll be subjected to ill treatment and torture. With the help of physical coercion, Nazarbayev will get the testimony he needs. Thus, the $6 billion contract could become tantamount to the sale of democratic values and principles of the European society. It will be the sale of those values that are always the greatest achievement and pride of European countries.